Hi, everybody. Welcome to Safety Harbor Art and Music Center. I can't really see anybody, but how many of you is this your first time here? Wow, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. So, for those of you who have not been here before, we are a nonprofit art and music center. We just celebrated our 5th anniversary of being open in this spectacular venue. And we had a big fun party last week. Sorry you missed it if you weren't here, but we had a great time. Our umbrella parade and lots of fun stuff. We have tons of music coming up. In addition to doing the things here, we also do a really cool project which we call Art Reach, and I get to go to schools and work with primarily elementary school kids. I do big, large-scale mosaic projects with them. I just finished a week, the first week of a 2-week project at the local Sandy Lane Conservatory of the Arts School, and I'll be there for a whole nother week next week building a large scale mosaic. If you're from Pinellas County, all of those things are funded by the referendum money. So if you voted for that, thank you very much. We appreciate it, supporting art and music in schools. It's super, super important. We do open mics once a month if you're in town on the 3rd Wednesday of the month. It's a big fun time. We have writers, poets, singer-songwriters, magicians. Sometimes we get interpretive dancers. We never quite know what's going to happen, but we almost always have about 20 performers. They get 5 to 7 minutes to do whatever they like, and it's a really fun time. We do it right out here. So 3rd Wednesday, sign in 6:30. Show at 7. If you've ever wanted to get up and perform, it's a great night to express yourself. So without further ado, Dixon. Or Dixon's counterpart, then Dixon.
How about another round of applause for Heather and all of the amazing staff here at Shanty? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special presentation of Dixon's violin. He has been described as the Bob Ross of violin. His presence compared to that of a dragon. But do not be worried. Instead of breathing fire, he breathes permission to do the impossible. In a world that tells you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, Dixon says nay. Do not go quietly into the night. Do not go down without a fight. If you have joy in your heart, oxygen and love and passion in your veins, then you have a gift and a perspective and a bit of magic that the person to your left and the person to your right might need. Perhaps together on this rock, floating through space with intention, with love, with joy, and the vibration of some really majestic and groovy violin strings, we could do the impossible. If and when you find yourself moved tonight, I only ask of you one thing. Take it with you. Be permission for somebody else to do the impossible. Each of us has the opportunity to be the trail of breadcrumbs which helps another retrace their ladder to the stars. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Dixon and his majestic violin. Hey!
And without further ado, yay. Everyone, are you ready for a thing to happen? That's half of you. Are you ready for a thing to happen? Yes! Way better. I'm so excited. I'm Dixon. I'm Dixon's violin. I have 2 questions for you before I begin. First question, raise your hand if you've heard me play before. Yay! I love this. I'm 1,000 miles from home, and I just love that there's familiar faces and friends wherever I go. It's just a beautiful thing. All right, last question. Raise your hand if you've never heard me play before. First time. All right, you are brave, brave people. So excited. You have no idea what's about to happen. Guess what? I have no idea what's about to happen. I don't. If this is your first time, let me warn you, this is live. Everything you're about to hear is live. There's nothing pre-recorded. There are no tracks. There are no samples. There's no MP3s. I'm not clicking play on anything that existed before. It's carte blanche, clean slate. Every single sound you're about to hear is coming from this violin. I'm just playing with the waveform as it comes through. I don't have a plan. I don't have a set list. I'm not just playing songs. What I have is an intention. My intention is to share my heart with you. It's to share my soul with you. It's to get out of my head if I can. Get out of my own way if I can and just let something through. And to do that, I need to feel deeply. And I encourage you to do the same thing. And with that in mind, I invite you to join me in 3 deep breaths. So take a moment, settle in, close your eyes if you want. Take a deep breath in, let it out. Take a deep breath in. Feel free to make sound as you exhale. Ooh. Take a deep breath in. And let it all go. That's better. Yay. So breathe normally. Open your eyes if you want. I'm going to start with what I call a song that doesn't exist yet. You've never heard this before. I've never heard this before. We're going to create it together right now. Thank you so much. Yay, so as a reminder, it's a be yourself zone here. It's a be yourself zone. So if you feel like dancing or wiggling, there's little pockets of space. I see some space there and there and there and there. As long as you're not running into anybody, feel free to get your wiggle on, right? Or if you want to stretch, if you want to do yoga, if you want to sit, that's cool. I've literally had people stand on their heads. That's cool. The point is, don't hold yourself back. Don't hold yourself back. That is the trap that I'm often in. I'm like, why did I hold myself back? I wanted to wiggle weird. But I didn't want to be the first person to wiggle. No, please be the first person to get your weird wiggle on. It's a great place for that. It's a perfect place for weird wiggling. So it's awesome. So feel free. And if you want to take photos or videos, that's cool. If you want to throw them online, that's cool. If you want to make them go viral, hey, that's cool. I'm going to do something else. You ready? Me too. Here we go. Dixon, you can't do that on a violin. The violin doesn't go that low. You can't play a whole band with just one violin. You can't do this for a living. You can't. Like, how many times was I told you can't do this, right? And the worst part is it was usually me telling me, I can't, oh, I could never do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. Why do we stop ourselves so many times when the answer is, you can. You can. You can do anything you set your mind to, right? Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. I love this. I love what I do now. It's so good. I also acknowledge I know many of you, but I don't know all of you. I want to meet all of you. So on the count of three, tell me your name. 1, 2, 3, go. Nice to meet you. I'm so glad you're here. So I'm Dixon, and I'm from Michigan, and it was literally snowing when we left 2 days ago. Yeah, so this is very different, and I'm thrilled to be back here at this amazing space. And I actually, for those I'm just meeting, I never intended to be a musician. My goal in life was not to be a musician. I actually had a very serious technology career. I'm a geek. Hi. And I was doing all this, I was doing important work in the world. I had this very serious career. I specialized in multidimensional data visualization. So when I say geek, I mean really, really geek. And yeah, I was successful, and I quit. I had a life change. I didn't quit right away. What happened is I had a life change in 2005. I went to a festival that changed my life. I went to this event, and I found myself surrounded by people that were actually living. They were like flowing and being and emoting and feeling and expressing, and I wasn't ever. I realized I never did any of that. I was always in my head. That was my thing. I was always in my head. I knew my head well. I logicked my way through life. I'm like, that's the way life works. And then I'm like, wait a minute, these people are not operating that way. And they seem to be happy, right? And I realized that I was afraid of opening up. I was afraid of showing emotion or feeling emotion. I was afraid because I'm like, no, if you feel, you might get hurt. And so I didn't. I was very much closed off. But when I saw others doing it, I'm like, well, maybe I can just feel a little bit. Let me just open my heart a little bit and see what's happening. What's going on in there? And oh my gosh, there's all this stuff going on inside myself. What is this world? What is this new? It was amazing. Like, imagine I was 35 years old at the time, and I just started to figure out who I was. It was profound. And so I changed a lot of things in my life, including music. So I had been playing classical music as a hobby, serious hobby, but it was, always, I had the sheet music and the notes were written down, and I was terrified about doing anything off the plan. And so I faced my fears. I'm like, hey, I'm going to try something that's scary, which is improvising. How do you do that? There's no instructions, right? There's nothing written down. There's no rules. There's no, and what if it isn't good? What if people don't like it? What if it's bad? What if you make a mistake? Right, that was a big one for me, making a mistake. In the classical world, you're never, ever supposed to make a mistake. Has anybody been in an orchestra or a band? You know how you're numbered? You're numbered, your chair, like your first chair, second chair, third chair. Like, first chair is the most perfect person. And second chair is close to perfect, not quite perfect. Third chair, well, they're not first or second chair. What? That's not the way humans work, right? But I bought into that, right? It's a horrible energetic environment, right? And I always wanted to be somebody else. It's like, no. Just because somebody can play something I can't, that doesn't mean I'm bad, right? And let go of perfection. Like, I make mistakes regularly. I will make 17 mistakes today. I've already made 12, right? But I'm way more gentle on myself than I used to be. It used to be I was like paralyzed. Oh my God, made a mistake. And now I'm like, oh, hey, cool, I made another mistake. Like, keep going, right? And I encourage you to do the same thing, especially if you're starting something new. If you've got a project or something you're trying to learn in your life, if you haven't made a mistake, you're probably not trying hard enough. Be okay with mistakes, and you learn that, yeah, you can just dust yourself off and keep going. Believe in yourself, keep going, and you'll find you are more powerful than you know. Phew. All right. If you're like me and you need to shake that out, shake it out, shake it out. Oh, wow. That was intense. I like it. Why do I like that? When I was playing classical music, my favorite thing was angry concertos. I just wanted the page full of ink. Like just all the notes on top. I was like, why do I like this music so much? Because I'm a very happy guy. And I realized it was because I was finally venting. Finally venting. Have a vent, folks. Don't do what I did. Right? I would bottle it up and I'd be like, oh, I'm fine, everything's fine, right? It's funny because my body would be telling me the truth about it, be like, no, you're not fine, right? I'd be all tense and my breathing would be shallow and my heart would be racing and my face would be all squinched. And these are signs that my body is saying, like, you are not fine. But my brain would lie to me and say, you're fine, right? Yeah, listen to your body, not your brain sometimes. When it comes to emotions, your brain, not so good. But the body is really good at that, right? And what's funny too is like I've learned too that I need to deprogram, especially as a guy, by the way, because guys, we are taught the wrong thing. We are taught to like man up and be strong. That's very often not the right thing, because that often leads to toxic masculinity and poor behavior, right? That spills onto somebody else and is not cool. It's like honor your emotions, right? So if you're feeling some like anger, right, or rar, like I used to think that was bad, and now I know it's true, right? So honor it, and like the trick is to process it in a way where you're not hurting anybody, including yourself, right? So find a drum and bang on a drum. Oh, it's so good, right? Or dance it out, or find a canvas and throw ink on a canvas, or learn from kids and throw a tantrum. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. If I do it, I'm like, why did I wait so long to do this? Kids are brilliant. Throw it. Because afterwards, I'm like, oh, I feel so much better, right? And what's cool is like if you're working stuff out, if there's something that doesn't serve you and you're just like releasing that and working it out, you make space in yourself for something new. And so now my question to you is, what do you want to bring in to your life? can't do that on a violin. Ha! You can do anything. What's fun too is I realized too that I also held myself back in other ways too, in that like I was waiting for somebody else to tell me that it was okay, right? Or waiting somebody else to change. For like I was in this like I was playing classical music since I was 10 years old. I played classical for a long time, and it was good, but it wasn't magical. And I was waiting for like it to change, or like maybe I just need to find the next classical piece and then it'll feel magical. No, it didn't, right? Or I was in this career that was good, but it wasn't magical, and I was waiting for them to change. Or I was in a relationship that was good, but it wasn't magical, and I was waiting for them to change. No, you can change. We can change. It's an amazing superpower. You know that you have superpowers. You know that, right? Right. The power of choice is one. Like you can choose where to put your energy. Right. You're at the steering wheel of your life. And I was always like, well, I'm the passenger and I'm just waiting to. Nah, you can make the choice of where to put your energy. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Exercise your superpowers. It's great. I think it's time to get a little weird. Are you ready? Oh, good. I love you guys. This is so good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to play a couple more. I am so grateful that you are here. I love my life. I love doing this. It was a big thing to walk away from a good career to do this weird thing in a violin. And again, no one told me. No one said, "Hey, you should do this thing." I had to give myself permission. I hope you give yourself permission to be yourself. I hope you find your voice and a way to share your heart. Like, I love that I get to express what's going on inside me, and I encourage you to, like, what's your way, right? There's lots of ways. There's so many fabulous ways. And it's a beautiful thing to share your heart, like, get it out there, and especially with somebody else. Like, it's one thing to journal or to paint for yourself. That's cool. That helps. And I challenge you to the next level, like, share that with someone. Take your art and your heart and share it with someone else, especially today, especially these days. There's so much division that's happening in the world right now. There's so much separation, and we need connection. We need connection, and that's a beautiful way to do that, is to share your heart with others. So the world needs you, more of that. Yes, please. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to play one more song, one more song. And I hope, especially for the people that this is your first time, like I hope you've heard something that maybe you thought was impossible. And the point is not that I'm doing something impossible. The point is that you can do the impossible. Notice if you ever find yourself saying, "Oh, I could never do," that's a clue that actually you probably can do that thing. It might just be scary. I hope you have an idea in your life of like this thing you want to do, this big thing, this big project, this like a life change, job change. Maybe you want to change the world. I hope you have this idea that's so big, it's kind of scary, but the excitement and the possibility. That thing, I want you to do that and practice it. The thing with the violin is practice. Anybody can play the violin. Anybody. The first 2 years suck. That's the deal. For 2 years, it's awful. Just ask my parents, right? It's horrible, 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 horrible instrument. And then it gets better, right? But people quit too soon. Like, oh, I tried it for a whole month and just, what? You're just getting warmed up, right? So whatever it is you're trying to do, it might suck for a while. Be okay with that. If your heart's in it, yes, keep going. I believe in you. Yes. All right, one more song. Oh, before I forget too, because after the song, I want to say hi and meet you, and I'd also love you to take the music home with you. So over on the right, Miss Zena is helping. We have 5 different CDs that are available, and my heart is in every one of them. We also have a new box set that includes a flash drive that's got all the CDs on it, and it's got concert recordings, EPs, a bunch of videos. It's like 10 hours of music. So that's the whole enchilada. That's the big kit and caboodle. And I'm very excited. For the first time, we just got these this month. So I've been doing this full time. I left the corporate world, gosh, 11 years ago, coming up almost exactly 11 years ago. This is the first time ever that we now have t-shirts. Yay, we have t-shirts. No way. I know. And what I wanted, I was nervous about doing t-shirts because I'm like, I don't want to just have a logo on there. I want to have a positive message. And this came to me, human kindness. So this is the name of the tour, the Human Kindness Tour, and it's the words humankind and kindness together, together. This is the time on the planet we need this so much. We are all one. We're all human, right? And it's especially a good time to be kind to one another. So I appreciate your support very much. I'm going to play one more song, and then I'd love to say hi. I want to say also shout out to Shamsi for hosting. This place is amazing. What? I love it. I'm super grateful. Thank you. appreciate you so very much. Would you like to hear one more quick one? Yes. Thank you so much. Wow. I love you guys. I love my life. That was a barn burner. This one might be more like Shavasana. appreciate you so much. Remember, you can do the impossible. The torch is passed. It's up to you. I believe in you. Come by, say hi. Thank you so much.